rebuilding the temple. There are 4 kings of Persia mentioned surrounding this event. To remember these 4, I'm going to name 2 and leave 2 of them unnamed, mainly because their names will be confusing with future kings of Persia. First of all, there's Cyrus. He is Cyrus the Great. And then there's his son. And then the third one is what we call a pretender. And the fourth one is Darius the Great. So these 4, Cyrus, his son, the pretender, and Darius the Great. If you keep these 4 in mind, it will help you understand the story a bit more. Cyrus the Great was the one that captured Babylon. He was the one that took over and made the Medo-Persian Empire. Isaiah talked about him years and years before, actually named him by name. And Cyrus accepted this and declared that it was God who gave him his empire, and knew that God wanted him to send his people back to the land. 42,000 people made that 4-month journey back to Jerusalem. They first rebuilt the altar at the very site where the old altar was, and that's where they made their sacrifices before they started to work. The people that opposed them were the Samaritans. They worshiped God mixed with their own paganism. And so they said, well, we worship God too, let us help. And of course they were rejected. And with that, then they became in opposition to it. Cyrus had said that they could rebuild the temple. When he died, his son took the king, and his job was to go conquer Egypt. He went to Egypt, conquered it, but while he was gone, the pretender said he was also a son of Cyrus. He wasn't, and he claimed the kingdom. Well, when the son heard this down in Egypt, he made the journey back to Persia, but along the way had an accident and was killed. Well, it was the pretender then who then ruled. This is who the Samaritans sent the letter to, was to the pretender. The pretender had gained loyalty because he had forgiven 3 years of taxes for everybody. And so when he got this letter, he said, oh yes, we need to stop that. So it is the pretender who stopped the building of the temple. Now, he only ruled for 7 or 8 months. Darius was a soldier, was in the forces for Cyrus and also for the son. And he knew that this was a pretender, so he went and killed him. And the next day, he was crowned king. Well, for 2 years, he had to put down rebellions. It is said that he killed 19 kings in those 2 years. Well, this is the period of time, the time of the pretender, and those 2 years when the temple laid bare and no one was actually building on it. Near the end of that time, the Lord told him to build, even without permission. And they started building again. And soon after they started building, they got a letter from Darius saying, absolutely, you need to build this, and anyone who tries to hinder you will be killed. So that kind of gives you the historical thing that happened there. The rebuilding of the temple took 12 years total. That's even the time where it was stopped. It took a total of 12 years. There are 3 big differences between the temple that Solomon built and this second temple. First of all, the second one did not have the Ark of God. It was gone. Secondly, it did not have the presence of God. As the story says, God was basically saying, I'm not going to fill this temple with my presence. That's going to come when the desires of the nation come. Then I will fill this temple with my glory. So this temple did not have that. But third, between the holy place and the Holy of Holies, there used to be a wall. That was under Solomon's temple. The new temple didn't have a wall. It had a curtain. And that is the curtain that was torn in half when Jesus died. Well, a little bit of history here, but giving you the background for all that's going on. Come back next week when we continue on with more insights in the story of the week. We'll see you next week.